Till now we discussed about various things in AOP. We discussed about what is an advice, join point cut, advisor, aspect, everything we discussed. Do you have any doubts in the previous topics before going ahead? Okay, I'll go ahead. So we understood that first step is to create your advice. You have to decide which type of advice you want. Before advice or after advice or after returning advice or around advice. First thing is to decide and then write such an advice by implementing the corresponding interface. Then after writing advice, you need to decide where and all this advice should be applied, for what methods. If you want it to be applied to all methods, then you can use this advice as an intercept of your proxy. If you want it to be applied for every method, use advice as an interceptor. But if you don't want the advice to be applied to all methods of a bean, then you need to define point cut, right? If your point cut requirements are straightforward, then you can use name match method point cut. Or if your point cut should be complex, then you can use aspect J expression point cut. So command point cut will we use aspect J expression point cut, and I showed you where of aspect J expressions. Right? Now, once we are at this point, my question is, do I need to really create a proxy? Here I created a proxy for calculator. I will say that this is not required. Why? Just see this advisor. Can you tell me where and all this advice is applied? Advice is what? Logging around advice, right? This should be executed before and after. And where? All methods of calculator. So just by seeing this class, you can say what methods should be intercepted. What method call should be intercepted. And when intercepted, what code to get executed. Which advice? This is advice, right? Now if I say like this, star means everything. Every bean in my class, every method of every bean in my class, in my application should be intercepted by this advice, right? So is it required that I should create a class for proxy bean? Whenever I ask for calci, I'll be asking container, right? I'll ask container to give me an object of calci. Container can check, is there any method of the bean calculator which is matching this expression? If at least one method of your calculator is matching this expression, then definitely it can automatically create a proxy and give it to you, right? So we can create automatic proxies. We can just configure our container to create automatic proxies, right? So to do that, simple, you can just write a bean class equals to default advisor auto proxy creator. Default advisor auto proxy creator. This will tell to container, if I declare this bean, this is a post processor again. If I tell this to a bean, if you just declare this, as the name says, it is auto proxy creator. It will decide whether to create a proxy or to give you a version of it. When will it decide whether to give you a proxy or not? If at least one method of the bean, if you are asking for a calculator bean, if at least one method of the bean is matching any of the point cuts, then you will automatically get a proxy, right? So it's now very easy. Just define your bean, define your advice, then write an advisor, and we can declare this. If you ask for calculator, you will not get the original calculator. You will get a proxy of that, right? So very simple. No need to even declare this proxy factory bean. Just declare this. Any doubts? Because aspect contains all the details like what, when, where. This is an aspect. Advisor means aspect, right? This is an aspect. What aspect? Logging aspect. When is it applied? It is an around advice, so before and after. Where all this matches. So it's having everything. So we can just ask the container to create automatic proxies. That's it. Right? Let's see. I'll run the code. I'll ask for calculator. Let us see whether I'll get a proxy or not. Earlier I was getting the reference of calci proxy, the proxy. Now I'll ask for calculator. I'll debug it by keeping a breakpoint here. Let us see whether I'll get a proxy or not. See, calculator is pointing to a proxy. So container can decide whether to give you a proxy or not. Right? So this is all the things which you need to know about AOP without using annotations. Now let us see the same thing using annotations. How simple it is. Same concepts using annotations. I'll create a new project, AOP using annotations. Okay, so I'll just copy paste. I'll create the same package com.mysys. Copy paste calculator and calculator interface and arithmetic calculator. Right? And also I will take a new XML. Yeah, I want to use annotations. So I want to tell the container to scan for annotations. The first thing I need to do is to tell about scanning. I need a context namespace. So going to namespaces, select context namespace, and back context colon component scan first thing. Base package is com also, right? And you need to tell to container to recognize AOP annotations. So for that you need to take AOP namespace also, and then write a tag AOP colon aspect G auto proxy. This will tell to create automatic proxies by reading the annotations. Earlier I declared a bean called as default advisor auto proxy creator to tell to the container to create automatic proxies. But now proxies should be created by reading annotations. So this will say to read annotations and create proxies automatically. Two things, right? Now I have already copied arithmetic calculator. I want this to be recognized as a bean. So component, right? I'll say calci. This will be the name of the bean, calci. I need not declare the bean tag also inside my XML because I'm using annotations. So now I will be writing a new class logging aspect. When using annotations, your class need not implement any interfaces. Earlier we implemented interfaces. If you want to write a before interface, before advice, what is the interface? Method before advice. After returning advice interface. Throws advice. For arrow advice, what is it? For arrow advice, what is the interface? So when using annotations, your class can be a simple POJO, a normal Java class, without implementing any interfaces. But you need to tell that this is an aspect. So annotate it with. So it will understand this is an aspect. And inside this, I will write one method. I will write one method public void log before. Method name can be anything. But I want this method to be executed before the method. So annotate this with yes before, and you need to specify the point cut before that point cuts. Execution of star type can be anything space what calculator. Now see here, I need not give the qualified name of the class when my aspect and my target both are in same package. If both are in same package, no need to give the qualified name. If they are in different packages, then you have to give the whole qualified name, com.mysql, right? Okay. Dot, I'll say star of dot whatever, right? And here I will write system.out.println before. That's it. So I defined one before aspect. I'm calling this as an aspect, not an advice. Because do you get the answer for all? What? It is logging. When? Before. Wherever this matters. So this is an aspect. Right. So once I declare this, I need not do anything. I'll just copy this demo. I'll get the bean for calculator and then I'll call a method on it. So context.getBean, what is the ID? I wrote calci. That's all. I'm writing it. I'm running it. Anything is missing. AOP colon base package. I will declare this also as a component. Then I'll run it. Earlier the class was not declared as, it was not recognized as a bean. Right? Any doubts? But I have a small thing. Earlier when writing my before advice, this is my before advice, I was having access to method object, params object, target. I was able to print method name and everything. Here how to get it? What you can do is you can make your method to optionally take join point as parameter. And by using join point, I can just print join point dot I imported wrong join point. I'll import I have imported this one. Now join point dot get signature dot get name will give me the method name. And if I want the arguments, join point dot get args will give me the arguments which are passed, and I just use arrays dot to string so that I can see that as a string. Right? Now let me run it. Right? Before add, before sub, parameters also printed. Right? You can have more than one aspect. I can write one more method in the same class also and annotate it with before. Let us check. In some other class, yeah. So I'll give another aspect. I'll give new class, another aspect. Then I'll annotate it with components, aspects, right? So now I will run it. See what is order. I'll tell you how to specify the order. Right now, by default, what is executed? Another aspect, then the other one. But I want to specify the order. I want my logging aspect to be given the highest presence. So you already have seen yesterday, you have to implement. Yes, exactly. Order. and implement a method called as order and give say 2. I give 2 for this, and for that I'll give 1. Implements ordered. So which will be having the highest precedence? The lower one. Let us see. Okay, I'll give 3. So first one, my logging aspect should be executed first. Right? Or there is another way. Don't implement ordered interface. There is annotation order 3, and also for the other one I will remove this implements right. So that's how to give the order, because anyway it's automatically creating proc. Right? Next, zero, I guess. If you don't give any order, it will be having a default. Maybe I'm not. I think let me just check. Order ordered dot. I'll just okay. Highest precedence, lowest precedence is there, but what is the normal precedence? If I can just print it and check. Some static variables are there. Ordered is present in which one? Org dot spring framework dot core. Ordered. What is the value? I think they didn't do. They didn't give. Normally starting with where to check what is order. Okay. So I will remove for logging aspect. If this is executed first, then this is having 0. I think it is having the maximum precedence, maximum value, max it. Okay, so what I want to do is right now we saw about how to write a before aspect, before advisor, before. Now I want to write after. For both, then I think that depends upon how it scans. We cannot guarantee the order, I guess. That depends upon maybe that runtime. At runtime it may scan in different ways. So here I want to write a public void log after. So again I'll take here also join point. This is optional. And the annotation is again I'll give the same join point. Again I'll give the same point cut expression. Right? So I am using the same class for both purposes, before and after. So for now I will just remove component here. This will not be recognized anyway. I just want only one aspect class. Let's see, to avoid confusion. So before add, then inside add, after add. Right? So single aspect class for doing both. It seems that using annotation is very easy, right? But in after, will I be able to get the return value? After means it will be executed even if exception is thrown. So there might not be a return value sometimes. I cannot access return value. So I will write another after returning. Copy pasting again same method. I'll say log after returning. The annotation is after returning. But here I should have access to return value. How to get the access to return value? See here. In this, if I press control space, I am getting point cut is equals to comma. There is one more attribute. Returning is equals to I'll say R. Right? As I give R, I can make my method to take another parameter of type object and R. Whatever value I give here for returning, the same thing should be here. Now automatically the return value will be passed to this. You can access return value, right? After returning, I'll just print the return value plus return value plus R. Now let me run it. Okay, is it printing? After returning, so if I want to access return value in my after returning advice, I can do it. Just check. Then see here. I'll just show you the presentations. This we have seen, this we have seen. As I told, if you want to access the return value, in after returning annotation, you have to specify returning is equal to whatever name you give here, parameter name also should be same. Then you will be able to access the return value. After throwing, if you want some logic to get executed after throwing, you can use after throwing pointer, right? But in this method, you want exception to be accessible. This will be executed whenever some exception occurs, right? Here, this is normal thing. If you want exception to be accessible in after throwing aspect, see? In after throwing, you have to use throwing is equal to, there I use returning is equal to for after returning. Throwing is equal to E, and here I give. Now, if I make this exception as some X exception, this method will be executed only for X and its suffix. So you have to choose it carefully, the type of this exception. Now, if you are using throwing is equal to, in your method you have the access to the exception object also. You can write your logic accordingly. Next, as I told, this method will be executed only if exception thrown is either illegal argument exception or subtype of it. Around advice. For around advice, the annotation is around. Then this parameter, this method should take proceeding join point. Earlier we were taking join point. This should take proceeding join point. And calling join point at proceed will call the actual method. Before calling, I can write some code, and after calling, I can write some code and catch your error. Let us write this around advice. I will write a method public void log around. This method should take proceeding join point, and I should annotate it with around, and I'll give the same pointer. Then here I will write this one. Proceeding join point. How to get the name? Proceeding join point is again actually as the interface which is subtype of join point. So whatever you are doing with join point, you can do with proceeding join point, and one more extra method here in this join point is join point dot proceed. Okay, here to just distinguish before in log around. Then I'll call join point dot proceed. This will give me the return value. And then I'll write after. Just throwing an exception, I'll declare it. Then if I want something to be executed when exception is thrown, I could keep this in try catch block, right? I'm not writing it right now. It will work. Now if I run this, oh, exception. Okay. The exception is because my log around should return object. It should return the return value. Whatever is returned by here will be returned to the client. I will run it. See, before in log around inside, after returning, right? So we wrote around advice also. But do you find any problem in this? What if I want to change the point cut for all the methods? I wrote point cut expression here, here, four lines. I wrote same point cut expression. But tomorrow I decided to change this expression to match only some few particular methods. Then I need to change it 4 plus, right? So that's the problem. So I want to centralize a point cut definition. How to do it? I will write one dummy method, public void dummy, any name. On top of it I will write an annotation called as point cut, and here I am going to write this expression. So on a dummy method I wrote a point cut annotation, right? Later in the annotations I can just use dummy. So now my point cut expression is at only one place. If I want to change, I will just change it here. Same thing will be applied everywhere, right? So this is how to reuse a point cut definition, right? Any dummy method and annotated point cut, and use that method name wherever point cut expression is required. Any method. Need not be separate method. Yeah, you could write here on the top of this method you can write point cut and you can use the same name. But generally we will write a separate dummy name. Otherwise, if I write this point cut annotation here, it might be confusing. Right, works. These methods? This calculator? Huh? Huh? Yeah, I could have another add method which is taking ijk. Then in the point cut we are saying, right? These are the logger methods. Huh. Right. These are the logger methods, no? Huh. Do you want to write after throwing? No, I didn't get your time. Public void log after here I'll use after throwing, and I'll use same expression dummy. Here if required I can make it to take join point, comma, suppose say illegal argument exception, illegal access exception. This is one, and same thing. Tell me another exception. Illegal argument. So you are specifying where this method should be executed. This will be executed when illegal access. So no problem, right? You can do it. Okay. So as I told earlier, how to order the aspects, you can specify order annotation or implement order, as I told earlier. Yeah, same thing. Generally what we do is we will centralize all the point cut definition in a single class. See here, this is a separate class which is having a method on top of it, point cut. So like that, like I will get n number of methods for each point cut. All point cuts will be in single class for maintenance purpose. And if I want to use this point cut in another class, what I do? Calculator point cut, the class name dot the method name. So you can centralize all your point cut definitions in a single file and you can reuse them. Right? So already we have seen how to write aspect J point cut expressions. The only difference is using annotations and in XML. Using annotations, you will not specify you need not specify the qualified name. In XML, you should specify the qualified name. That's the one, right? Otherwise, whatever we discussed are same. Yeah, as I told, you can use within this one or, right? So using annotations, see, there are two methods which are annotated with point cuts. I want an OR operation, so just check. You can combine two point cuts like this. Next. Okay. Next important thing is how to introduce behaviors to your beans dynamically. Till now we saw field injection, vector injection, constructor injection. Now I am going to inject methods also. How to inject methods? Methods means what? Behaviors. Methods will contain some code behavior. So how to introduce? Introduction is a special type of advice in AOP. It is a special type of advice. How to do it? See, first through the presentation I will explain you clearly. Assume that there are two interpreters. Calculator have same calculator class. There are two interpreters. Max calculator which is having max, which will return you a max of A or B. Min calculator will return a minimum of A and B. These are two interpreters. And I have two implementations. Max calculator IMPL implements max calculator some implementation. Min calculator implementation. Right? My arithmetic calculator was having earlier 4 methods: add, subtract, multiply, divide. Now what I want to do is dynamically I want these methods to be injected inside my arithmetic calculator. Let's see how it is possible. Introduction works by proxy only. See this example. I am writing a class called as calculator introduction, a separate class in which I declared max calculator and min calculator. Here, for this max calculator, I am declaring parents. Parent is arithmetic calculator IMPL. Default implementation to be used is max calculator IMPL. Here also, right? We declare such variables. This is what? This is an aspect, right? This is an aspect. Now, I declare this introduction, calculator introduction, and I am asking for arithmetic calculator. I'm asking for arithmetic calculator, but I'll get a proxy which is implementing min calculator, max calculator, and calculator all. So what I can do is I can typecast it to max calculator and call typecast to min calculator and I can call. I actually feel that min and max are present inside arithmetic calculator because I have requested for arithmetic calculator. Right? I have requested for arithmetic calculator and I am typecasting same reference to max calculator or min calculator. What is actually happening? I will be getting a proxy which is implementing min calculator, max calculator. Whenever I am calling this method on max calculator, I am actually calling on a proxy. That proxy is deciding on what object it should be called. How it will decide? See here, I have already told for max calculator what the default AOP is. Max calculator AOP. Whenever I call a method on this interface, method will be called on this side. Right? So I feel that min and max are introduced inside arithmetic calculator. This is how introduction works. Okay. So these are the things about declaring using annotations. Now same thing using XML. I don't want to use annotations. I don't want to implement interfaces. I just want to write a simple POJO, a normal Java class without annotations. And in XML itself I want to declare what is the method to be called before, what is the method to be called after, around, everything. Let us see. I just copy paste the same code and write it in XML. New project. People who prefer XML will prefer this. People who prefer annotations will prefer this. So depending upon your choice, AOP using okay, so I'll just copy paste my calculator, arithmetic calculator. First I'll create a package com.mysys and here I'm going to write arithmetic calculator and calculator. Okay, right now I am a person who will be preferring XML, so I don't want to use component annotation. Then I'll write a class called as logging aspects, or I just copy paste this one only and remove the annotations. So I am removing all the annotations now. Join point, huh? lang.join point. Proceeding join point you have to take for proceed. For around you have to take proceeding join point. Okay, I'm just removing all the annotations. Now this is a plain Java class without any annotations and it is not implementing anything, right? Now writing an XML, I'll copy paste the same XML. Remove this AOP colon aspect G auto proxy, because if you write AOP colon aspect G auto proxy, it will detect annotations. So now I am writing the beans. Class arithmetic calculator, I'll give the ID as then my logging aspect. Okay, so then I will use AOP colon config, everything in XML. Then inside that I will say AOP colon aspect. I am defining an aspect here. Reference is equals to logging aspect. I want this class to be treated as an aspect. Earlier I used annotation, but now I am using XML. Then AOP colon before method is equals to log before. Point cut is equals to expression of execution of I'll give star space star dot star of dot dot. That's it. I told that AOP column before this method should be executed before wherever this point is. So if I ask for calci or get a proxy of calci, this happens. You see? I will copy the demo. Now the ID is calci only. I will run it. Right? The before advice is applied. AOP colon after returning, let's say after returning method is equals to log after returning is equals to R, whatever I gave in the annotation, same. Then point cut is equals to let us say I will run the demo. Now I should see both before and after returning. Yeah, see, after returning also is working. Wherever this point cut matches, right? But now again you are seeing that I am duplicating the point cut everywhere, right? So what I can do is I can define a separate point cut. In my AOP config, I will write AOP colon point cut and I give an ID log point cut, anything, and here I'll give the and now here I will use, instead of using point cut is equals to, I have to give point cut ref is equals to right. Any doubts till now? And just specify other things also. AOP colon after throwing, around, before, declare parents, right? We declared parents in annotations, right? Same thing can be done here. Point cut out. So that's about AOP.